Good morning and welcome everyone for session 4 of EdLeadS 2021. I am Nabila and I'll be your MC for today. First of all, thank you to our supporter, the Ministry of Higher Education and all partners for EdLeadS 2021. Thank you to our local partners, Lenovo, CREST, Twimbit, GigXGlobal, Maybank, TikTok, and our international partners, Sensible Soccer and GBA. We are also streaming live on TikTok. Check out our handle at EduCity Official. And registered participants will stand a chance to win merchandises from Sensible Soccer. So how are you going to win this? First 100 registered participants who complete all 10 series will definitely win these prizes. If you watch all 10 series and be active in the Q&A session, you will stand a chance to win as well. Our grand prize, none other than a signed Manchester United home jersey by current players like Cavani, Rashford, and many more. You receive an e-certificate upon completing the survey, and for those who have completed all 10 surveys for each series, you will entitled to get a platinum certificate. In the previous session, we had Ms. Sharin Shariza Dato Abdul Ghani, CEO and co-founder of GigXGlobal, talking about the future of work we want, rise of the human, not robot. So there are some key takeaways from the last series, mainly number one, remote working are expanding ever since COVID-19 hits the country. But what's important is the building of trust between employee and employer. Number two, the pandemic also accelerates the bond between devices and humans to create a better future for the gig economy. Look how more corporations and institutions are using online platform on a daily basis, just like what we are doing now. For those who wanted to watch the whole EdLeadS 2021 series, we will inform you where you can watch them. Stay tuned for updates on event.com.my. Today's series, we will feature Ms. Kaylani Nair, Senior Executive Vice President, Group Virtual Banking Maybank, moderated by Mr. Mohamad Fairuz Izwan, Head of Youth Segment Marketing at Maybank. Our title for today, The Future of Banking. Audience, please look out for questions from Maybank on the chat box and you will stand a chance to win prizes from Maybank such as May credits and t-shirt. What you need to do is respond to the questions on the chat box and we will announce the winner in this session. Without further ado, I would like to pass this platform to Fairuz to kick off the session today. Take it away, Fairuz.
Thank you so much, Nabila. Assalamualaikum and a very good day, everyone. So my name is Mohamad Fairuz Izwan. You may have seen me a lot from TikTok. So thank you so much for being part of the session today, the session of the future of banking. So joining me with session today, we have Ms. Kaylani Nair, the Senior Executive Vice President for Group Virtual Banking in Maybank. All right. Hi, Kalyani.
Good morning, Fairuz.
Good morning. Oh, I see your video is off. All right. So there.
Oh, okay, this is better. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So okay, I'm sure our young viewers would like to get to know you a bit better. Would you like to introduce yourself? What role do you play in Maybank?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, EduCity, for having us. So what role do I play in Maybank? So Maybank, we've got some very popular digital platforms today. We've got Maybank to You, we've got the recently launched May by Maybank to You, as well as Maybank to Biz. So the team in Maybank, myself and the team that we have in virtual banking and payments, our duty is to make sure that the digital platforms that we have are great engagement tools for our customers. So many of you who are in the audience today, I'm sure, have used Maybank to You, right? And you have found a way to make sure that it's easy to get on with life because you've got a digital platform, more so because of COVID. Right?
Yes, correct.
We're all in some form of manner stuck within a confined space, and we still need to get on with our lives. And this digital platforms help us. And what I do, and more importantly, what my team does, is that we wake up every morning. Literally, we wake up every morning thinking about how can we use our digital platforms to help consumers like you, like the rest of the audience, or like me. Right? So that's the general ethos of what we try to do. That's our general principle. So whatever you see today on Maybank to You or Maybank to Biz or even May, the new app, is all with that principle in mind. How can we help our customers get more of their lives, make life easy, make life simple, and let them get on with the fun things in life.
All right. We haven't even started with the session yet, and I feel motivated already. It's very inspiring. Okay, so now that we already get to know each other a bit better, so let's start with our session. So firstly, so can you tell us a bit more on how do you start off as a banker in Maybank? You know, was it something that you've always wanted to pursue from the start?
That's a very interesting question, and I suspect a lot of students in this audience as well today. And if there's something I want you to leave at the end of this session is this: your existing degree, whatever you're studying for, is just a stepping stone. And why I tell you this is because my degree is in TESOL, Teaching of English as a Second Language.
Oh, that's completely different. What are you doing? What you are doing now?
Correct. And never did I imagine working in the banking industry. Right? But I think there's one thing our audience should realize is this, right? In whatever industry you go in, whether it's banking or whatever vertical you go in, right? It's the ability to connect the dots. It's the ability to look out for opportunity. And I'm not talking about specific industries like medicine and all that, right? I mean, let's put all that aside. But when it comes to the more business-driven verticals, if you're able to connect the dots, you're able to understand what the customer wants, and then take the trouble to understand the nuts and bolts of the industry, you can do well. Right? So I've got a degree in TESOL. I've got my master's in corporate communications. So you don't see banking, you don't see finance, you don't see economics, although that was my favorite subject in school. So getting banking was an accident, actually, right? I started off doing a lot of writing. I was part of a subsidiary of TV3 actually earlier on when I first graduated and all that. But because I loved writing, and at that point in time, digital banking was just about to start in Malaysia, right? And I got involved in writing content for the internet banking website.
Writing and content for internet banking. Okay.
Yes.
So how do you move from there?
Yeah. So I think to put it very generally speaking, right, it's that you must take that effort to learn and understand beyond your boundary. If and these are to all these students here, you guys are going to graduate very soon. You're going to go out in the working world. Times have changed. MCO has come in. COVID has come in. But there's so much of opportunity because of these challenges, right? So don't be fixated with what you've learned, and don't be afraid to go and understand what's happening around you in the company, right? And volunteer to take on more responsibility. Don't wait for your boss to come and tell you, hey, are you willing to do this for me? No, you got there and you tried out and you proved to yourself. And the most important thing is you must enjoy what you're doing.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
You must love what you're doing. You must wake up in the morning saying, yes, I'm looking forward to the day because I think I can make this change. Right? So you must have a passion for what you're doing, irrespective of what degree you hold. Your degree is just a stepping stone. Your mindset, your grit, your love for the particular industry you're in, that can make a difference.
Wow. It's very inspiring. I myself share the same value because the same as you, I'm coming from engineering field. Now I work in the bank as well.
You see? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very different, but it's very, very much, it gives me purpose right now in the bank. So I share your value. Now, talking about, banking. So I find it very, very, nowadays, the transformation is very, very fast paced. From a physical branch model previously, now we have a new model called the digital bank. So how do you see innovators reinvent banking? So Kalyani, sorry, your video is off.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why this keeps happening. All right. Okay. So I think when it comes to looking at how, your question is how can we innovate, right? In the banking industry, right? I think the first thing to realize is that pull yourself away from the fact that you are a bank, right? Look at it always from a customer angle, right? And if we are able to see how customers interact, so let me ask the audience. I mean, I'm not sure that you guys can interact right now, but from the time you wake up, you are not thinking of going to a bank.
That's true.
Right? Right? When you wake up, you're looking for your cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Right? Right? You want to go to Starbucks and get a nice, or maybe in this current situation, you go make your own coffee, right? Or you order online, right? You make your coffee. You are looking for ways to get your lunch, and then you're looking for ways that, hey, I'm working. How do I grow my wealth? Or I need to spend money. How do I spend it wisely? How do I get the most bang for my buck? Right?
Correct.
So I think the way the bank innovates is when they are able to look at the journey of a customer and they're able to find those points where, as a bank, we can add value. So, for example, I'll give you an example. This was when Maybank, you had this whole revamp of the website about 2 years ago. We had something called a goal saving plan.
Right. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. So in all our lives, right, as students, as a parent myself, all of us have got certain things we want to get for ourselves or for our family or for our friends, right? Whether it's a birthday present or you want to save up money for your parents, maybe, or you're trying to get your first car, first home, or just saving for a rainy day, which is so important, right? Especially now when this pandemic hit us, a lot of us had this sudden realization, touch wood, if anything were to happen, do I have enough to tide me for the next 6 months? So as a bank, we took that as a what do you call that? As a view, and said that, okay, we understand that it's difficult to save, but we also understand a lot of moments where we look forward to a friend's birthday, a kid going to university, saving up for his university fees or whatever. So we said, because it's so hard to compartmentalize our lives, right? Very often, I can tell you this from a personal story. When I first got married, I would have been, and this was 18, 19 years ago. My salary would have been maybe about 6,000, right? So very often at that time, by the time I came to the 20th of the month, I'll be broke.
Okay.
And then I'll tell my husband, hey, husband, pinjam lah, RM500. Right? And now when I reflect, it's because we didn't have these services to help. Right? There was no way for me to compartmentalize my salary. Right?
Correct. It was just a banking account last time.
It's just a banking account, right? Money goes in, you go to the ATM, you withdraw your cash, you spend. By the 20th of the month, you'll all be blinking. Right? So these are things that as a bank, we try to innovate. We look at it from a customer angle to see how can we make a difference in your lives.
True.
Right? If we can make your life simpler, if we can bring some form of contentment, of safety in your life, where you're not worried, hey, next month got money or not, right? Even if it's saving 10 ringgit per month, 50 ringgit a month, it makes a difference. And that is how we keep, this is just one example of how we keep innovating.
Yeah, okay. That sounded really, really great because, from a scenario that teaches you how to become, to manage your life a bit better, that you innovate to make it part of the banking system. In other words, you wanted to make people's life a lot easier. So I think it's a really great way of moving innovations in the banking world. Now, okay. I have a second question, which is, for me, I find it rather interesting. Okay. Last year, Bank Negara actually issued a much anticipated digital banking framework. Okay, so following up with my previous question, so how do you view digital bank? So do you view digital bank as a threat?
Okay. in all our lives, okay, put aside digital bank, we need competition in all aspects of our life, correct? Even in your personal life, you need competition to drive you, a dash of competition to drive you to do better.
You need
right?
a bit rivalry, a bit.
Yes, and in the banking world, I view competition as good, whether it's a digital bank, whether it's an existing banking license that we have. Competition is always good because at the end of the day, it's always about the customer.
True.
Right? So we must always look if that competition can help create services which will help our customers which were not available there, then by all means, we should welcome competition. And should we be afraid of competition? I think you should have one eye on competition, but your other eye should be always about how you can help the customer. This is not running is a very popular sport, right?
Yeah.
You have got your sprint, you have got your marathon.
Yeah.
Right? In this industry, it's a marathon.
True.
Right?
Okay.
The sexiness, the fancy marketing and all that might be a sprint.
Yeah, true.
Right? The lovely cashbacks and all that might be a sprint. But you need to be there as a marathon. And when we talk about marathon, it's about how as a bank, we can help you do better, whether it's to save, whether it's to borrow, whether it's to spend, and keep it within a safe environment and make sure we give you the best, right? It is not always about cashbacks, right? It's also about protecting you.
Correct.
Right? So even when you spend too much, as a bank, are we doing enough to alert you, for example, saying, hey, you're probably spending too much on your online shopping. Are you sure you want to spend the next, So we have a responsibility to play, and we should play that well. And if we keep the customer in mind all the time, I'm pretty sure with the current banking license, because our banking license allows us to operate within that framework as well. So whatever the digital bank can do, we can also do, right? So it's back again to how we innovate, how we stop, we don't stop innovating, and we continue with that journey.
That's a very insightful value that I personally share as well. Customer is always first. Okay, now my next question. So so you have a very long experience within the banking world as part of the virtual banking department. So I wanted to know from your observations and your industrial expertise. So can you paint us a picture of how do you think the banking world would look like 5 years from now?
All right. You see, at the end of the day, there are 3 or 4 things that a bank does, whether you're a digital bank or whether you're a bank, right? There are 3 or 4 things that all these banks do, right? You help people spend, you help people save, you help people borrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But how it will change is this. Today, we are all known by products: a savings account, a current account, a mortgage, a home loan, a credit card, a debit card, QR payments. We are all known as products. I believe that will change, right? It will become a more friction-free experience for our customers, and finance will get embedded inside, right? I'm sure you have seen this before, right? I'm sure you've read this before. You talk about opening up the fridge, and the fridge has got enough IoT inside to realize that you're low on milk, and to start ordering your milk carton for you, right?
Yeah.
And with 5G coming, with IoT becoming a lot more popular, these things will become a reality, right? We talk about cars, for example, right? We've got all this automated driving happening, driverless cars and all that. So imagine now a situation where a car doesn't just belong to you, it belongs to a couple of people. So for example, it drops you off at Menara Maybank. It then switches over to, say, I don't know, another part of town. picks up two other people, drops off, goes to fuel, and then it comes back and fetches you and takes you home, right? So in this case, it's all about there's not a car loan now that's attached to you, is there?
Yeah,
right? Yeah, right.
Oh,
So
that's a very good analogy.
yeah, so I think that's how we should look at banking in 5 years' time. A lot of the players are incubating new ideas and all that, and it's a matter of time before we see all that coming together very nicely.
Oh, that's a very interesting way of thinking about how does the financial product could better your lives in the future. I mean, I don't mind personally, having a car, because now my car is just me using by myself. So I think it's a waste of petrol, just me driving to, goes and back to work. But then if I were to able to share the responsibility, even share a car, it would be even better for myself.
Correct.
So, yeah.
In fact, Fairuz, I've got a 16-year-old boy. He doesn't even believe in having a car.
Yeah,
right? He's saying, why do I need a car? There's Grab, there's all this available. So why do I need a car? Right?
Correct.
So that mindset is changing. And if that mindset is changing, as banks, we must look at those changes, understand our customers and how times have changed, and innovate based on that new thinking models. Right?
Okay. Sounded okay. Now you mentioned about your son, 16 years old. Now, this leads to my next question. So right now there is an increasing demand for digital bank, especially from the millennials, from the Gen Z. So like you say, this is transforming how the entire banking industry operates. However, the older generations are not really as familiar, like my mom, my dad. So the progress is a bit stuck as compared to the youth. So some of them even, refuse to adapt to the technology. For example, like my dad, he completely negates digital bank or whatever that we have on the digital platform. He's like, I'm going to the bank. So, what could you say about this scenario?
Yeah, thanks, Fairuz. I think there are different age groups and we must embrace all these age groups. Right? So if you come from the older generation that still wants the face-to-face, then that's something that Maybank will continue to provide, right? We would love to provide that. We would love to have that chat. We'd love to do the transaction for your father, for example, right? And there are a lot of things that as we get more progressive, as there's AI, there's machine learning and all that, that will help us to broaden up and democratize, as the terminology I like to use, democratize financial services.
Democratize financial services.
Yeah. Right. So it's no longer about just a certain set of individuals who have a higher set of earnings who are able then to have that face-to-face advisory service, right? So because it's happening through the digital platform, it's available to everyone. So you can grow your wealth through the digital platform as well. And because you're using AI and machine learning, there's less, hopefully there's less biasness as well. So, but Fairuz, one thing I need to point out is that because of COVID, it's been a silver lining for the digital platforms. And we notice even the older ones starting to embrace. So they go to their kids, they go to their nephews and nieces, right? Correct. Because the kids will say, Mom, maybe it's not the right time to be going out from the house. Let me teach you. In fact, I've got a colleague who's on the call right now. His name is Kenneth. So Kenneth was telling me how he observed in the waiting line there. This just happened, I think, yesterday. There's an elderly person who was using QR, right? And then he turned around and spoke to this person. And this person said, yeah, I'm using it. Then how do you put in the money into your May wallet and all that? Oh, that one my kid helps me do.
Yeah.
Right? So they are starting. They need a bit of guidance. They need a bit of help. But over time, the current young generation are going to get old. Correct. Right? And this generation that gets old are extremely savvy. So that is a different thing. But, as Maybank, we love whatever generation you're in. And we make sure that we provide it. So for people who are dad, you're always welcome to see our advisors and all that, to get that sort of advice and to go on with the banking transactions.
Okay, so I just like you say, actually, although my dad can't go to the branch, he actually always comes to me. How do I transfer? And then I have to teach him because he's still using the old M2U app. I asked him to download the new May app. I was like, okay, I teach you how. This is a lot easier.
Excellent.
Yeah, I find the new app is really, really good. Okay, now, before we go on to the next question, so I have a question that's more related to your career. So the question is, you are currently one of Maybank's senior executive vice president, and you are currently serving in the Maybank virtual banking department, which I find very interesting out of all the department that we have here. Now, what actually helped you to get where you are right now, and what advice can you give to our younger audience that are interested in, the digital banking environment, the virtual banking environment?
All right. What got me here is the fact that I didn't have a preset of definition of what banking is, because I didn't have much of a banking knowledge, as I told you, where my degree and all that, right? But I knew what I wanted as a customer, right? And I also knew enough to ask customers what they wanted. And because we have got sufficient people within the firm who understands banking, the nuts and bolts, we could go to these people and leverage and understand from them how banking works in the traditional manner and marry that with what we have. So if my advice is to the young graduates here, the students here, don't close yourself in a box. Experiment, try new things. Don't be afraid. You do, as I always pointed out, your degree is just a stepping stone. Fairuz, you are a good example, right? You're an engineering student, right? And we have a lot of that in my team, right? In fact, the number of graduates who are related directly to economics or finance and all that are very few. In fact, we take in a lot. I even got a psychologist in my team.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got design people, people who understand user interface, user experience. So media people, creative people, videographer, right? You'll be surprised. You would think banking is all about economics and finance and accounting and all that, right?
Yeah.
But if you're working in the digital banking team, it's a whole different world, right? Where they have got, there's a lot of creative people within the team who come from different, who got different expertise, who bring the, when you have different expertise, what you create can be a much richer experience.
I completely agree. Yeah. Okay. Now, so I think we are a bit out of time, but I have one last question. So the last question is, what are one of Maybank's newest initiative that is contributing to the future of banking?
Yeah, all right. So I'm very glad you asked this question, Fairuz. I've been always keen to talk about it. When we speak about banking, it's about, hey, do I have enough money? I need to go and take out money from the ATM. There's not much, the emotions that you create might not be so much of a delightful or joyful experience, right? And we wanted to mimic what we had already created with the savings goal in the Maybank 2 website. So Fairuz, if you don't mind, could we bring up that one slide which will help me talk through? Thanks, Kenneth, right? So this gives you an idea of what May is, right? It's called May by Maybank 2. Now, and remember earlier I spoke about the savings goal, right? But then we had greater insights. When you have your savings goal, it is not always about you saving up money on your own. Sometimes you're saving up money with your friends, and sometimes you're saving up money with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever have you, right? It's sometimes a group savings, or a bunch of you are getting ready to save up. Say, for example, the whole family is going to go for a trip. And so the whole family say, hey, let's all plan. By the end of this year, let's all get onto a trip and go to, I don't know, with the current situation, go somewhere, maybe Janda bike or whatever, right? So as a family, you start keep saving money, right? So this is where, if you look at the second portion, we have created something called a tabung, right? And this is a virtual tabung. So you can save up money up to 4 friends. And the beauty is everyone in that tabung gets to see how much everyone is contributing. So if every month is supposed to contribute 100 ringgit, next month, family member B forgets to contribute, everyone else gets to see it, and we can all remind family member B, hey, you have not put in money into our shared tabung yet, right? That is number one. Number two, you can also accelerate your savings. So for example, today, right, we have a lot of spare change. And sometimes we don't realize it, right? We order a cup of Starbucks. That coffee is not cheap, right? And say it's 10 ringgit 90 cents. So you've got that 10 cents balance. All this spare change, you can automate within the Maybank app. So because the May app knows that you have spent on Starbucks, they will take that 10 cents and put it into your tabung automatically for you. Or say, for example, Fairuz, you like to spend a lot on online shopping, example, or say on fashion, something where you're addicted to, for example. So you can sort of like punish yourself. So if you drink too much coffee or you spend too much money on coffee or on fashion, you can tell the app, if I spend more than X amount, say if I spend more than 100 ringgit on coffee, please put aside 10 ringgit into my tabung.
Okay.
Right. So all this accelerates and speeds up your savings, which is for the betterment of your lifestyle. That is one, right? And the other thing that is done extremely well on the new Maybank app, the May app, is the ability to track your expenses. Remember I spoke about earlier, right? Every time money comes in, by the 20th, by 25th, you'll be wondering where your money went, right? Because you've been spending here, spending there, you don't know. But with the expenses capability, you can literally see where your money went. And you've even got a tab called online shopping. Right? So if you don't know where your money went, you probably should go and click on online shopping. It's probably, I'm guessing it could probably be sitting there, right?
Probably there.
And the thing is, on your dashboard, on the main page, you get to see your top expenses for the month. So you know exactly where the big money went to.
Yep.
Right? And you can do that. And the last thing that we had is something called a makan mana wheel. Right? We've always got this problem, right? Want to makan where? Right? So wherever your campus is, dear students, I'm sure you guys within your own groups be thinking, hey, where are we going to eat today? What are we going to eat today? So what the Makan Mana wheel gives you is the ability to spin and to figure out what to eat and what discounts we have that Maybank can offer you, again, to spend wisely. So I hope all students here take this opportunity. I've got a small video that's coming up soon. Have a look at it. It's quite an entertaining video. And this, in a nutshell, dear students, help you realize that in banking, there's a lot of interesting things that happen within banking. And this is one of those that we have newly created that will really, we feel will really help our customers. Could we have the video, please?
I think my boyfriend is cheating on me.
Tell me, April. What makes you say that?
I overheard him boasting to a friend that he went shopping with May the other day. He says he enjoys shopping with May.
I love shopping with you.
They even bought stuff from online overseas stores. He would never let me do that. He says the exchange rate is too expensive. Am I not worth it?
Okay. What else can you tell me?
Well, I know that he has makan a few times with that May already. And I know that he always lets her decide where to eat.
Oh, May. You pick the best places. Okay, April. Okay, listen. I know it looks bad at this point, but I need your help to tell me more information about May.
He mentioned that they open a tabung together. They must cross a line, right? I mean, that they open a tabung together. I know that he has spoken a few times with that May already. He says he enjoys shopping with May.
I love shopping with you.
Oh my god, maybe you know what? I don't want to find other guys because other guys
It's
don't
gotta be May!
Huh?
It's May, not May! Your boyfriend's not cheating on you! M-A-E, May! It's Maybank's latest app by Maybank to you! Shopping with May makes life that much more convenient with a May account.
It also comes with a May card that allows you to pay anywhere. And I mean, anywhere. Now with May card, you get preferential exchange rates for shopping online when you pay with foreign currencies. But you're worried you'll burst the bank? Not to worry. With May's expenses, you'll keep your spendings in check. And by opening a tabung with May, you will have access to a virtual savings jar for you to put money aside to reach your goals faster. While you can opt to do it alone, you can also set up a group tabung with 1, 2, and more friends. Now you can work together to get your hands on that dream getaway. The latest gadgets, the latest fashion, and so much more. But what if you're overwhelmed with dining options? Not to worry, because May will sort you out. Imagine, man. Whoa! Worried your friends might owe you money? Well, May's got them tracked down with the split bill function. Whatever it is you need to save, spend, or savor, May can get you sorted. And by the way, the all-new app comes equipped with the MTU banking features as well. So just download May and get your spending life on track.
I think my boyfriend is cheating on me.
Let me guess. It's May.
It's gotta be me.
Right, that's a very entertaining video.
Yeah, thank you. And this is all done by the in-house team within Maybank, right? Whatever you see in the video is the final outcome of whatever I spoke about earlier. And all this is done internally. There's a whole creative team, a whole technology team within Maybank, UI, UX, design, product, who come together to create this proposition. And for all the ones in the audience today, hope you'll give it a try. As this is the future of banking, it can only get better from here.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to share a bit of my experience of using me, not just using me, because I'm quite active on TikTok. I'm not sure whether you realize, Ms. Kalyani, on TikTok, I think there's like a month back, there is this big trend on TikTok going on where people are showing off their expenses month by month.
Yes, yes.
So I was like, oh my God, people are really realizing how much they are spending, and they are realizing that how me can actually track their expenses. So I find the entire trend was very, very entertaining.
Yeah. And the beauty of it also, it was all organic.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it was my son came to me and said, hey, Amma, I see this on TikTok. So the first thing when I saw on TikTok, I said, hey, this is interesting. So I went to my marketing team. I said, guys, did you get influencers to do it? And said, no, these are actually genuine customers, right? These are all original, organic customers who understood, hey, oh my God, this is where my money is going to, right? The sudden realization. And they went on TikTok.
Yeah, I was very much entertained by the whole trend that was going on. I wanted to do mine, but I don't want to reveal my expenses yet.
Painful, right?
Yeah. So the other thing that I find it very useful, right? Because I just gotten married last November. So when
congratulations!
Thank you so much. So because I just gotten married, I'm trying to organize, mine and my wife's expenses. And we realized, my wife is not a Maybank user at the point of time. So I had to persuade her to open a Maybank account, because I told her, you know what, this thing is very useful. So we open a tabung together, and now we are competing with each other who can, get to contribute more so that we can travel faster.
Wow. Wow. Oh, with this, I must tell you this joke. So for the audience here who happen to be married, you might want to try this. So my husband, I got my husband, and this just happened last week. On the dinner table, I said, husband, let me teach you how to open a tabung. So and this was in front of my kids. They opened the tabung. I said, you name this tabung Kalyani's birthday. So I made him open this tabung. I told him, this is the amount you need to save for. I said, every month you put in this amount. By the time my birthday comes, my dear husband, you are well prepared to get me your gift.
It even gives you a reminder that it's already full. You can buy something already.
Exactly, right? But these are things that touch us on a personal level. And that is where I think banking is going. It has to touch us on a personal level and make a real impact in our personal lives.
I think my wife is watching this. You just give an idea to my wife.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the whole session has been very entertaining, inspiring, and very insightful. But before we conclude our session for today, we are going to have a answer and win session, whereby for the audience, we would like to give away me credits, me t-shirt, and a sensible soccer notebook for 5 lucky winners. Okay, now all you have to do is very simple. I will ask some question later. I will ask in total of 5 questions. So if you would like to answer the question, kindly use the Q&A function here on Zoom and type out your answer. And Miss Kalyani will determine if your answers is correct. Now, let's move on to the first question first, all right? So just bear in mind, okay, I think my team will put the question in the Q&A panel as well, just for you to refer. Now, the first question, what is the difference between a traditional bank and a digital bank? This is a very open-ended question. Okay, let's see if we have any answers already. Yep, my team already posted the question. Anyone have any answer? If you have the answer or if you want to try it out, you can put it in the Q&A function from Zoom. Okay, we have one answer already from Anis Nazari. The need of coming to the bank physically and otherwise. So very simple and straightforward answer. So your verdict, Miss Kalyani?
Oh, there's one more.
The other, okay, there is the other one can do online transaction, and the other one pure online services. Okay, there's more answer coming in. The ability to things from hand and be going to bank. Traditional requires face-to-face, and online is using a platform digitally. So I think
where do you see that? I can only see up to from hand and be going to bank.
Oh no, there's more
at the bottom. Yeah.
So which one?
Tough, Fairuz, because it's a combination of answers actually.
Yeah, it's combination of answers. There are some good answers here. The digital banking does not have schedules. That is to say 24 hours, 7 days a week. Since all the procedures are carried out through internet, there is no schedule to them. That's another great answer.
Yeah. Before I pick the winner, this is something, when I look at these answers, I just wanted to make something clear, right? I'm not sure how you determine, how do you categorize Maybank, right? Is it a traditional bank or is it a digital bank? Because we have got both, right? We've got the physical channels where you have no schedules, digital platform, using your gadgets. All the answers you've given here are also going paperless. It's also about Maybank to you, right? So this is a tough selection, Fairuz.
If I may suggest, I think Akil Zaidi answers is quite it's quite okay. Yeah,
okay. There's Akil, which is quite good. There's also one more, which is Vivian. Right, Vivian. Traditionally, you can solve your problems face to face. Digital way can interact. Shall we do this, Fairuz? Shall we give both Vivian and Akil?
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do that. All right. Okay. Wonderful.
Okay, so congrats, Akil Zaidi and Vivian Lim Ling. Okay, if I pronounce your name correctly. Okay, so my team, we will have a representative from my team and EduCity to contact you after this. So don't go out from the webinar yet after you win an item from us. Stay here so that we can get your contact. Now, since 2 prizes is already given away, we have another 3. So let's move on to the third question. Now, the second question. So the second question is, why do you think people nowadays are relying on technology for their financial matters? So it's a very simple question. Again, it's an open-ended question. Let's see if anyone can give a good answer. So yeah, my team Aizara Bahrain already posted the question. Let's see, let's wait a bit for the answer. Oh, there's one already. Convenience and accessibility. Time saver, it's accessible everywhere at your convenience. Without boundaries, anytime, anywhere. All right. Okay, let's give it one more minute. Hold on, yeah. Comfortable, save time, and it is safe during this pandemic. At the tips of your fingers at any time. Some of the answers are like a catchy slogan. Flexibility in the hands of the user. All right. Okay, I think we have some great answers here. AI makes it simpler for people to interact with their financial data without making much effort, to cope with limited time access that are now quite hard to engage, whether time with family, working hours, or etc. All right, so Ms. Kalyani, which one do you think? A great answer.
This is all very tough. Karishma's fraud detection is also on point because now with digital platforms, you have the right tools that sit behind that scan that has got a lot of algos and machine learning that will help. Convenient, safer, what Natasha has said is also very true. Keep track. Yeah, I don't need physical receipts. I totally agree with you, Natasha. It's all sitting in your expenses dashboard. Without boundaries across the globe, also true, right? It doesn't matter where you're sitting, you can access Maybank to you. The flexibility is there, advancement of IoT is there. So Fairuz, let you choose the answer.
Okay, I like what Natasha said, more convenient and safer and easier to keep track. So no keeping physical receipts. Actually, yeah, I like that part because I can access anytime to get the receipts back. Okay, so shall we give to Natasha Zainal?
Sure. Congrats,
okay.
Natasha.
Congrats, Natasha. Okay, Natasha, again, please wait a bit in the webinar. Our team will contact you to pass you the prizes. Now, so we have 2 more prizes to give out. Now, let's move on to our third question. So the third question is, this is a very simple question. So tell us your favorite feature in Maybank's new May app. So it's another open-ended question.
Fairuz, the question that's posted here is different.
Oh, sorry, Zara. Can you post? I think your question is a bit different. Yeah. So the question is, tell us your favorite features of Maybank's new May app. The ability to track expenses, tabung, okay. This somehow works like a poll already. Like which feature they would like. So tabung, yeah, I completely agree. I love the tabung feature and the ability to track expenses. The makan mana wheels. I think I need to do one TikTok after this, to do the makan mana wheels once I no longer constrained in this area.
Correct. We have to wait for that first.
The split bill, yeah, it was the split bill is rarely talked about. It is a great function. I did so with my wife every time we go out for a dinner.
Oh, that's terrible, Fairuz. You're splitting bill with your wife.
No, we had that understanding. So
go Dutch.
Yeah, so if we go out, we will split our bill. But if we buy groceries, it's all on me.
Oh, okay. But really, the split bill helps because if you notice this, especially when among the younger crowd, all right. I mean, we all only earn X amount, right? So in the physical world, someone would order an expensive dish, another guy could be ordering just fried rice, and it's not fair to divide it equally.
Correct.
Right. So that is where the split bill function really helps, and you get to see who has paid up and who hasn't paid up. And you can also send reminders.
Correct. Okay, I think there are quite really good answer here, but I would like to take the unique one. There is another one, digitize the loyalty cards. I think that's rarely spoken about as well. We can actually put the loyalty cards in. So I think we can give 2 prizes here, Miss Kalyani, if you agree.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
We can give to just now the student that answered the split bill function. Well, let me check. Muhammad Fauzan Mansoor, and the loyalty card with Karishma, if you agree.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So I think Karishma and Muhammad Fauzan, stay back a bit later. So we will contact you after the webinar. All right. So with that, we have already given away all our 5 prizes. So congratulations to the winner.
Fairuz, we've got, sorry, I would like to give away maybe another 3 more t-shirts. Could we have, let's have one last question and the best 3, only the t-shirt, yeah, only the t-shirt.
Okay.
Only the t-shirt. So let's have one last question and let's see who can give the best answer. I think you've got one more question there, right?
Yes. Okay, so I can give you one more question. So for the audience, so, okay, I'll try a simpler question as well, yeah? So what does it mean to go cashless and how do you do so? So very simple questions. What does it mean to go cashless and how do you do so? When we talk about cashless nowadays, there's a lot of different way you can go cashless. Honestly, myself, now I don't really bring my papers everywhere. I just put in like $50 and then the rest are just cards. I rarely use my paper money already.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially during COVID, whenever I meet merchant also, I would suggest them, Akak, Abang, I cannot use paper money, infection.
Yeah, true.
Okay, there are a couple of answers already. We don't need to withdraw money and just bring our card for purchases using Maybank card and Maybank to you apps. Yep, great answer. Cash is 100% replaced by digital money such as card. Lower crime rates. Yeah, we could definitely relate to that. Pay without cash notes. I will just bring my card and less using my paper money. I will use QR Pay Maybank to pay. Oh, thank you so much. Sounded great. I don't have to worry about having no cash in the purse, but still have the ability to spend. I do it easily using the May app. This sounds like a testimony already. Okay, so I think we have a couple of great answers here since we are giving out another 3. Which one?
3 t-shirts, yeah.
3 t-shirts. So
yeah,
we have quite a few answers here. There is 2 very long answers. It means I don't need to touch money, the money. I feel safer walking around in public. The extreme convenience of just bringing a card or 2. However, I realize I spend more due to not seeing the money physically and feeling the pang of spending, especially for students going to Mr. DIY.
That is why, Sarah, when you spend through cashless methods, make sure you go to May and see your expenses. Then you realize, and then you will, maybe stop going to Mr. DIY so often.
Actually, what she's saying, it describes the nature of the younger crowds nowadays. So I think during in November, we did a virtual financial literacy conference for the youth, M Campus. And based on our findings, when we give up the surveys through our webinar, the younger crowds, just like Sarah mentioned, likes to shop at, places that are not as expensive. They like to shop at Mr. DIY, Daiso, the like 10 ringgit items. They like to shop there and they are considered as a value shopper. However, they tend to overshop. Even according to the findings that we have, they tend to overshop at these value shops, which is rather a weird traits among the youth.
Because when it's cheaper, you tend to buy more, thinking it's cheap.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, even my wife liked to spend at Eco Shop. Oh my God, kept spending at Eco Shop. Okay, so which answer do you think suits the most? So we have 3 t-shirts. I enjoyed Sarah's answer just now, and we have Akmal Alif. To be honest, to go cashless means that less handbags, purses, just bring your phone anywhere, anytime. Less time to think on what bags to bring up, but I can shop how many I want.
What about Henry Ho? Having online transactions, digital receipts, using integration of high security application to avoid fraud. Yep, that's not a bad answer.
Yep, that's a good answer as well.
Mm.
Henry Ho.
So one more, Fairuz, I'll leave it to you.
Okay, so we have Henry Ho and we have Sarah just now. One more, yeah. One more. Nur Fazlin Azima, bring only a card, just swipe, but it's not convenient much after checking the balance. Okay, I'm cashless to be fully depending on online transaction. This could really help in making more convenient, especially in pandemic. True. Cashless, more benefit and value for money. Discount for using cashless, safer and monitoring and what we spend record. Okay, I think No Shazwani's answer is also not too bad. In my point, to view cashless in this 4.0 revolution is by using online payments, card and etc., which is more prominent in this era, much easier to do transaction. Okay, so I think we can have Nur Shazwani, Sarah, and just now Henry Ho, is it? Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again. So congratulations again to the winners. Just so you know, you will be contacted by one of our representatives to gather your detail to pass along your prizes. Now, before we end the session, we would like to open the floor to our audience. If you would like to ask any questions to Miss Kalyani. So if you are interested, just use the Q&A function and we will answer your questions accordingly. So now, while you guys are typing the answer, I will go through the Q&A. I think there are some questions already available here. There is one in the answered tab.
Yeah, I already answered one.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I answered, then we don't go through that because I think they would have read it already.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one. Kavita.
Kavita, yes. So Kavita asks, good morning, Miss Kalyani. My name is Kavita from USM. Oh, that's quite far in Penang. Okay, what is the question again? I would like to ask, how do Miss Kalyani make your work fun? Okay, especially in the world of accounts, many presume it is stressful and difficult. How do we overcome that?
Right. Kavita, your university is a very lovely university. I come from Penang, so USM is really lovely. So how do you make your work fun is when you need to find meaning in the work you do, irrespective of how junior or senior that role is, right? So if you're an undergraduate now, when you start working and you start doing a job in accounting, don't look at it from just the role you're given to play, but how your role will impact the bigger picture of whatever your team is trying to do or whatever your department is trying to do, right? Is there stress? There will always be stress, Kavita. Right? When I was studying, I thought, oh, once I start working, exams are the worst stress in life. Then you start working, you realize, hey, actually it's a different kind of stress altogether. And I think I'd like to go back to my university days, right? So there will always be stress, irrespective of which life journey you're in right now. But there's also the good stress and the bad stress. So I'll give you a personal example for me. When we were about to launch May by Maybank to you, we launched it in October. There was a lot of stress, right? Making sure the user experience was correct, the features were right, there were no bugs, the testing was done properly, the marketing initiatives were done properly. Are we giving the right features? Are we introducing it correctly? There's a lot of stress. But the stress was a positive kind of stress because we knew if we did it correctly, it will create that sort of impact with our customers. Right? So that's a good kind of stress. Will it be difficult? Life is never easy.
Correct.
Right? And anything we do, there will be those difficulties, and we just have to realize that every difficulty has an opportunity. You might not know the opportunity today, but it will come to you soon. So just keep at it. You need to have grit. If there's one thing you must remember, and I've seen enough people, enough team members coming in and out, you must have grit. right? You must see it through.
True. I love the answer. The answer is a great answer. So you have to see the higher purpose on what you are doing, not just the work that is in front of you, but the higher purpose. Yes,
Correct.
a great answer. Okay, I have another question that is quite interesting. So we have seen the evolution of Maybank to You app. Personally, what kind of improvement would you like to see in the digital banking?
Okay, I think there's a lot more to be done, right? If we are able, whatever improvements we make, must be able to help customers like you and me, right? So these improvements will always go back to that. So whether it's buying a car, whether it's buying your first home, whether it's looking for repayment opportunities, or whether it's even helping people during this COVID time. So I'll give you a very simple example that happened. When all of us went to lockdown on March 18, right? Maybank was thinking, and Maybank is a community financial services organization. We have branches all around our communities. And when we looked around, we say, hey, a lot of these mom and pop shops, the nasi lemak fella, the satay guy, the chicken rice fella, didn't have customers coming to them. Everyone was frightened, right? I was sitting at home. So how we innovated was to see, hey, can we help these guys? We've got Maybank to You. It's a very popular service, thank God. And we have got more than 10 million registered customers on the platform. If we can connect these small merchants, your satay, your chicken rice, your nasi lemak guys, to our 12 million customers and tell our customers, hey, these are all small guys living around your community, buy food from them, right? Instead of going to some fancy restaurant, ordering food from fancy restaurant, help these guys. And chances are these guys, food tastes even better, right? And that is how we came up with Sama Sama Local. So that is how we will keep innovating in this digital banking space.
It's a great answer. Yeah, I completely agree. So Sama Sama Local right now, they're having a campaign running. So before this, we have Pasar Seloka, which is very interesting. Soon you will see a lot more going on with our Sama Sama Local initiative as well. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So so this question, I find it very interesting because this is quite a hot trend right now in the market. How does digital currency will modernize payment infrastructure in the future? I think when Karishma mentioned digital currency, I think she's talking about Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, those kinds.
Yeah, all right. So Ripple is very different from your Bitcoin and your Ethereum and all that, right? So it's not a currency per se, but it's an infrastructure based out of blockchain. So I think when we speak about digital currency, I think we should look at it more from a fact that how do we give more transparency? If you're able to give more transparency end to end, from the time the guy sends the money to the time it reaches the other side of the world, right? And there's more transparency in that whole transaction process, then that is when it becomes a better solution for our payment services. Well, there's a personal question here, Fairuz. What is the turning point of you switching from Tesla to corporate com?
Yes.
Actually, I did. The turning point is because I joined a subsidiary of TV3, right? And in doing writing and video scripts and TV scripts, and because I was young to the team, I decided to also get into the designing of creating press releases and all that. So that's when I realized if I'm going to go into corporate affairs or something of that nature, then corporate communications would be good. It's a good start because it gives you enough about marketing, enough about PR and all that. To be honest, it's a lot to do with trying to find your way, because as an undergraduate, you just graduate, you will have to find a way. That's my personal experience, right? So all these were good experiences for me and laid the stepping stone to what I'm doing today.
Yeah, I think there is another personal question to you as well, Ms. Kalyani, which is, have you worked under any other banks before? If yes, why do you left the bank? And is Maybank the place where you choose to work or they choose you?
Okay. I think whether Maybank choose me or I choose Maybank, it's like a marriage.
Yeah.
right? Whether the husband chose the wife or the wife chose the husband, right? It has to be mutual. Yes, I've worked in other banks before. And what I love about Maybank, and this is my personal experience, right, is the fact that Maybank, and I'm telling this from a personal experience, it's nothing to do with marketing here, right? Humanizing financial services. So that's a very interesting tagline that we have, right? Humanizing financial services. And in my years in Maybank, I've seen over and over again of how the banks actually humanize financial services, right? And they, there is, it's not just a tagline, there's actual content to it. So for example, Sama Sama Local is humanizing. We're trying to help small businesses. We don't charge a commission. We do all we can to get our customers to buy from these small merchants. That is humanizing financial services. Giving you a view of your expenses is humanizing. We're not saying spend, spend, spend. We are saying spend, but look at your expenses. Be careful. Spend wisely, right? Yeah. That is humanizing. And that is why I love being part of Maybank.
So I'm quite speechless because that entire answer really rings a bell within my heart. Okay, so there are a couple more questions. Let's take one last question because we are a bit out of time. So okay, the question that I would like to take on right now is: we have seen digital banking currently implemented and widely accepted. What's next? What will be the next mega trend in the banking industry?
So I think the next mega trend, there are three mega trends which are already happening actually, but I think it will gain more maturity and take on more use cases. One is the use of artificial intelligence. The second is the use of machine learning. And the third is the part I spoke about where we are embedding financial services within other ecosystems. You are spending money, but you're not going to the ATM to withdraw money, if you get what I mean. Right? You're using it in your daily life. And the last part of it is where we draw funds or we put in money, but it happens within your personal environment, right? So you buy a cup of coffee and you probably next time don't even have to lift your finger or lift your card or lift your mobile phone, probably. Right?
Yeah. Even the coffee will come to you.
Yeah. Yes.
It will be interesting. It will be a very interesting evolution. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the banking industry nowadays. Yeah. Okay, so I think that answers all of our questions to our audience. So before we go, thank you so much, Ms. Kalyani, for addressing this very much interesting topic. So I'm sure by now all of us will have a clear idea on what's ahead of us in terms of the future of banking. So for our answer and win winners, again a reminder, our representatives will contact you for your contact details to pass over your prizes. So that is it for today. Thank you so much to our viewers for joining the session. Now I will pass on back to the MC, Ms. Nabila. Have a great day. Back to you, Nabila.
Thank you, Fairuz and Ms. Kalyani, for the interesting topic we had just now. Thank you also to our supporter, the Ministry of Higher Education and all partners for EdLeadS 2021. Our local partners, Lenovo, CREST, Twimbit, GigXGlobal, Maybank, TikTok, and our international partners, Sensible Soccer and GB8. We are streaming live on TikTok. Do check out our handle @EduCityOfficial. For registered participants, you will stand a chance to win merchandises from Sensible Soccer. So how are you going to win this merchandise? First 100 registered participants who complete all 10 series will definitely get their hands on these prizes. If you watch all 10 series and be active in the Q&A session, you will stand a chance to win as well. Our grand prize, none other than a signed Manchester United home jersey by current players like Cavani, Rashford, and many more. Participants, you will receive an e-certificate upon completing the survey. And for those who have completed all 10 surveys for each series, you will be entitled to get a platinum certificate. Next week, we will have Mike Phelan and David Horrocks from Sensible Soccer talking about decision making. This is very interesting, guys, because both Mike and David will talk on decision making and its practicality to ensure efficient decision making to propel daily trajectory for growth. Mike will analyze and discuss players' decision-making on field and Sir Alex Ferguson's tenure at Manchester United as a successful portfolio manager who is strategic, rational, and systematic. Do tune in to our next series on 25th January, Monday at 3 p.m. Malaysia time. Get the complete program schedule at edleads.educity.com.my, and for any inquiries, do drop us an email at events@educity.com.my. Check out this video that will provide you an insight on the next series. Thank you for joining us this morning. We will see you next Monday.